What's burning? What's burning? What's burning with KB?
It's time for What's Burnin' with Kevin KB Burns, presented by Bill Lacasse and SRG Financial Advisors. But first, please join us as we honor our great nation with the playing of our national anthem. And now your host, Kevin KB Burns.
Hey, I want to welcome everybody into What's Burning right here on Lake TV. We get asked this question all the time. What kind of a show is What's Burning? Well, it's anything you want it to be, because we always have a variety of different great guests, like, for example, today. We're going to take some time to hang out with Professor Jim Paisley. The guy's a hoot, plus he's a history professor, and he knows just about anything and everything about history, and takes what's going on in current day, right here, right now, translates that back to the time of, maybe some history that happened regarding almost the same thing, brings the two together and kind of helps you understand it. We're also going to spend some time talking a little high school football with the one and only Chris Schneider, and I'll have some thoughts and ideas, certainly on an event coming up here very soon we'd like you to check out. And if that's not enough, how about smart thermostats? Are they as smart as they seem? We'll find out. KB's Furry Friends on the way as well, and we can't do it without the help of all of our great sponsors, including our title sponsor, SRG Financial Advisors, Budget Blinds, Ozark Barge and Dock. How about our veterinary at the lake and our good friends serving up that ice-cold Culligan water. Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, the official bottled water of What's Burning, and we've got plenty of it. Sometime if you're in the neighborhood, stop by. We're happy to give you some, and we're happy to bring this a wonderful, wonderful program. It's called What's Burning, and I got to give a shout out to my awesome producer, Megan Albers. She does not get the credit that she so richly deserves in putting up with me and keeping this program rolling. Thanks to all of our great sponsors, all of the great members here at Lake TV, and thanks to you. And if you'd like to reach out, I'll tell you a little bit later on how you can do that. Back with more after this.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Hi, I'm Bill Lacasse with SRG Financial Advisors. You're watching Lake TV.
looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
It was a Saturday. Chris was a good dad. His water practices, not so much. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Culligan. Got a water pitcher for the fam. Pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
You realize these have filters?
Chris, pour it out.
It's not going fast enough. Just done with that.
When your water's right, so is your world. I wrote that!
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Hey, welcome back to What's Burning right here on Lake TV as we proceed through another journey in history with the True History Professor. Check out his website, truehistoryprofessor.com. He is also available on Key Radio, True History Professor. He does a nice podcast and keeps us all abreast of what's happening, mixing current events with history and trying to make sense of it all. The one and only Professor Jim Paisley. Thanks, man.
Hi, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and it's great to have you back. So what are we going to, what kind of trouble are we going to get into today?
Well, I thought we'd stir the pot a little bit. Seeing as how just this last week, it seems like half the country was labeled as being semi-fascist.
Semi.
And I struggled a little bit with that, and I thought, fascist? What is that, right?
Let me tell you, the good old Biden administration and its infinite wisdom put that poor woman out there who's the press secretary,
Yes.
and she's such a sweet lady, and I feel so bad for her. But they rolled it back a little bit. They said, no, it's not those 74 million people that voted for Donald Trump. It's the politicians. We just want to make that clear. And don't forget to vote on November 8th.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, I thought it might be kind of fun to talk about what I refer to as isms.
Isms?
Isms, like communism and socialism and fascism.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the first place to start
We're not going to get into, tell me we're not going to get into nudism.
No,
Oh, thank
no,
you.
I don't think I can handle that. No, yeah, I'd have to get a different host, that's for sure.
Set myself up for that
yes,
one, didn't I?
Yes, he did. So let's talk about fascism. What is it? And I came up with a pretty good analogy to try and make this as simple as possible on these isms to try and explain how each of these things works. Now, fascism, folks, is just a governmental system that's led by a dictator who has complete power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're it. And basically, they're going to stamp out any kind of opposition or criticism, and they control all of the industry and all of the commerce. They control the media. And they push big time for aggressive nationalism, So when you say patriot, you're kind of like, yeah, but this takes it to a whole new extreme with a dictator in charge, basically. And we're going to play a little game here. You're a farmer, my friend, okay?
Sure I am.
Yes, and I'm going to show you how this works under each of these isms,
Okay.
you being the farmer.
All right.
So under fascism, basically, you have 2 cows, my friend, and the government is going to take both of them. But
That's nice.
yeah, but they're going to hire you to take.
Because I have a small yard.
Yes, but they're going to hire you to take care of them.
Okay.
All right, and then they're going to sell you the milk, and they set the price.
So they hire me,
Right,
yet they sell me the milk.
right, and they were your cows to begin with.
Sounds like
What a deal, right?
government work.
So basically, then in addition to that, those cows, they finally decide, a man in a foreign country only has 1 cow, so your government's just going to give it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the way it works.
They've already just given it to me, but they're going to
Yes.
give it to me again.
Exactly. Which brings us next to socialism. which we hear so much about. And
Is
socialists...
this democratic socialism you're talking
well,
about?
I'm not real sure.
It's
Again, I'm really confused anymore.
Well, there's socialism and there's democratic socialism, which apparently is a milder form of
Exactly.
socialism.
Yes, it doesn't hurt quite
Just
as
making
bad,
sure,
I
just
guess.
making
So, the socialists are motivated by the desire to improve the quality of life for everyone. Okay, and they believe in a political system that's basically characterized by a strong state. The state is basically going to have to show you how to have this perfect utopian world.
I see.
Okay. And in order to do that, the state is going to redistribute resources and fix all the inequalities in society. I mean, I shouldn't have more than you and vice versa. So again, you're the farmer, you have 2 cows, the government takes one of them and gives it to your neighbor. That's socialism, folks.
Apparently, my neighbors always wanted a cow, so that's the perfect gift.
It is, isn't it?
I see.
Because now it's fair. You have a cow, he has a cow. All right? Which then shifts us to communism. Now, communism is basically socialism at the end of a barrel of a gun. Okay?
Right.
Because socialism goes over a long, slow period of time. It's kind of like the frog in the pot of water and turn the heat up. But they realized most people like you are not going to be real happy if I come and take your cow and give it to your neighbor, right? And so communists believe that the capitalist system is damaging the interests of all the people, and that workers have to unite to overturn the system so that they can put this truly utopian socialist society in place.
So in communism, where's my cow now?
Well, you have 2 cows, your neighbor has basically none, and they don't care. They're just kind of like, that's the way it works. I'm in charge, there you go. So they're just simply going to take them by force if necessary. If you don't like it, they'll shoot you, all right? Lenin was famous for having saying, you have the right to your opinion and I have the right to shoot you for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
So
good. There you go. That's all you need to know.
That's pretty much communism for you, all right? Now, I know, he's going down that path, liberalism and socialism and all this. Conservatism,
Okay.
all right? Conservatism. Now, it's a political and social philosophy that kind of promotes this idea of traditional social institutions. In other words, conservatives want to conserve the way it was. Why mess with it if it's not broken kind of idea, all right? So they want to return things back to the way they were. But again, they kind of take a little bit of the attitude like a communist would. You have your 2 cows, and your neighbor has none, but they're kind of like, I don't care, okay? They're kind of like, it's the way it is. It's the way it's always been, so be it. We're not going to change it. We'll go back to the way it's always been. You've always had 2 cows. Sound fair?
I think so, but here's the thing that, my neighbor is so envious of me and my cows and wants some or wants one or gets one or is given one. Why doesn't my neighbor just get off his big fat behind and go out and work and do what's necessary, much like I did to obtain these cows?
Exactly, which brings us perfectly to liberalism.
Uh-oh.
All right? Yes. Now, liberalism is a belief in protecting the rights of the individual so as to ensure maximum freedom, all right? And it became kind of a political movement during the Age of Enlightenment. And basically, it rejects the notions basically common at the time of the idea of having a king in charge or having, religion controlling things, monarchies, divine right, and that sort of thing. And so, again, back to our cow situation, you have 2 cows, all right? Your neighbor has none, and under liberalism, you feel guilty because you're not giving him. Yes, you do. You feel terrible because that neighbor of yours doesn't have any cows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about it.
So what do I do?
Well, you feel bad about it, but you're still going to keep your cows, I think. Yeah, isn't that funny how that works, right? Which brings us full circle back to what we called progressivism.
I see.
Now, progressivism, you hear a lot of times, the left now are referred to as progressives, okay? Well, progressivism is just basically liberals arguing that civil liberties and freedoms must be safeguarded by the state, all right? So when you get into this progressivism, they're saying you don't know how to handle your farm. You don't know how, you're not being fair and giving a cow to somebody else. And so the state needs to come in and regulate your farm. We'll have all, EPA and, cow farts and all that kind of stuff, for the EPA and that sort of thing. So, yeah, the state's going to come in and straighten that out for you. Well, here again, under progressivism, you still have your 2 cows. The government shoots 1 cow.
Right.
You milk the other, and then they throw the rest of the milk down the drain. That's progressivism for you. So, the isms make things a whole lot different, don't they?
Do they take the good milk and then the bad milk is what they get rid of, or is it just?
Oh, it's just all the milk.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just the way it works,
Okay.
So you have all these different isms, and if I could, I want to just kind of summarize these for you.
Please.
All right? A Democrat, you have 2 cows, your neighbor has none, you feel guilty for being so successful, all right? A Republican, you have 2 cows, your neighbor has none, so what? All right, so that pretty well puts those two groups together.
Right.
A socialist, 2 cows, the government takes one and gives it to your neighbor. You form a cooperative and tell him how to manage his cow.
And he tells you where to go.
Yes. Communist, you have 2 cows, the government seizes both of them, provides you with milk. You wait in line for hours to get this milk, and it's expensive and spoiled when you finally get it.
Couldn't I have just milked them at home?
Yes, exactly. And then we come to capitalism. You have 2 cows, you sell one, you buy a bull, and you start raising your own herd.
There you go.
All right? Yes. On the flip side of that, democracy, American style, you have 2 cows. The government taxes you to the point you have to sell them to support yourself. And basically, they turn around and take the cows and give them somebody in a foreign country, which is a gift from your government that you paid for. There you have it, folks. Isms.
I appreciate that.
Do you feel better now?
No, I'm actually a little scared.
Yeah?
A little scared and very concerned because, see, initially I would have said, yeah, go right ahead, get my bull with my cow,
Right.
and then you have 2 cows, so at least he's got a choice once in a while.
Right.
But much like animals, we wish we had more choices, and we don't, but we do have a government that loves to tell us what to do and how to do it. And I think, folks, again, and I discussed this with you earlier, the fact that we need to pay attention, folks, because our liberties, our freedoms, our rights are slowly slipping away from us, and we're allowing it to happen because we are being led to believe that certain ways of government are the way to go. For example, and I'll go back to socialism. Socialism, we know what happened in places like the then USSR with socialism, and how many millions of people died when they transitioned to communism. And I don't care, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. You can dress it up any way you want to do it. It is still socialism. So keep all this in mind, pay close attention, and while you're at it, take some time to check out his website, truehistoryprofessor.com, and listen to him on Key Radio, on keyradio.live, and join us on Wednesday mornings on Key Radio, because the good professor is in the studio with me every Wednesday morning at 9:10, keyradio.live, 89.3. We've got free apps for your iPhone and your Android. And as always, sir, thanks for helping us make sense of things.
Thank you. Remember your history.
Yeah, because if you don't, you know what's going to happen.
You bet.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, folks, we're going to take a quick break, come back with more of What's Burning, including an opportunity to talk a little high school football with Chris Schneider right here on Lake TV.
Enjoying What's Burning with KB right here on Lake TV? Have questions, comments, or suggestions? Have an interesting story for KB to tell? Or maybe you want to be interviewed by KB on the show or are interested in sponsoring? All you have to do is reach out to KB at kb@mylaketv.com.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
I'm Michael Wagner,
And I'm Tony Wagner.
Shootout Hall of Famers.
And you're watching Lake TV.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Want to get to know local leaders better? Join Lake TV for the COMC Community Spotlight Show weekdays at 9:02 a.m., 3:02 and 7:02 p.m. Chris Schneider talks with local leaders to find out more about them and their organizations. It's the COMC Community Spotlight Show on Lake TV.
Hey, I want to welcome you back to What's Burning right here on Lake TV. And you know, I had a chance to talk to my good buddy Matt Phillips over there at Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, and they are so happy. And I can go as far as to say even proud to be the official bottled water, here they are, of What's Burning on Lake TV. Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, Uncle Chris enjoys it, I enjoy it, everybody enjoys an ice cold bottle of Culligan water on a hot day or any time, especially if you're running around and you realize, oh, I got to take my prescriptions and oh, there's some Culligan water right over there. You can get the individual bottles, you can get the big jugs, and what's really cool is they'll come out, they'll take a sample of your water, they'll tell you what's in it, and they'll tell you just exactly how you can fix it. Just a phone call away, 573-346-5221. Andrea, Kevin, Penny, Matt, the whole staff at Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, we love you here on Lake TV. Uncle Chris joining us. What's up, man?
Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm doing well.
You're getting skinny, dude.
Well, it just, I drink a lot of Culligan water.
There you
man.
go. That'll do it. Absolutely.
So for you on a weight loss plan, add Culligan water, and you'll be in good shape. And he takes the obligatory. Well,
you're so dramatic.
Now
though,
that you've done it.
I mean, hey, if you're out and you have to take your prescriptions, that's cool, brother. That's why you're a star.
Yeah. We'll address that another time. Of course, we bring in a gentleman who has been deeply rooted in sports for a lot of years to talk about high school football.
Yeah.
And man, some amazing things already going on with some of the local schools. And then we are watching what's going on in the various conferences. Obviously, you want to talk about the Lakers and essentially a great game that they played. It kind of stalled out for both teams. They were down in Springfield. They played Kickapoo last weekend. They were down as much as 21-3, fought back. Their defense recovered a fumble in the end zone. That was really, I think, the motivation. And you had an offense that never quit. It was kind of the battle of, what do they call it, attrition?
Yeah.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and
Yeah.
forth and back and forth. And then finally, the Lakers broke free in the second half of that football game. The legs of quarterback Bear Shore, that kid's incredible. That's one thing I don't know as a coach, if you watch that or not, but coaches kind of do this
Yeah.
when the quarterback starts to run. But Bear Shore was built for that, and he has done a fine job. It'd be interesting to see how many yards he's gained so far in just 2 games. But the Lakers, again, they have a big contest, 24-21 winners over Kickapoo, by the way, made them 2-0. They're going to be taking on Waynesville and another road game. So imagine if they get hot on the road and get to come home, hoping they don't rest on their laurels, and I'm sure they won't. The coaches won't let them. But what an incredible opportunity to take on a Waynesville Tiger team that has never disappointed and never given the Lakers an easy contest.
Yeah, and this is a classic rivalry. You know, everybody thinks of the rivalry between Camdenton and Lebanon, and there is a great one there, but there's a longer standing rivalry for the Lakers against this Waynesville team, going back to when Jeff Shore was a player.
Yes.
So it'll be fun. It'll be a good game. 3rd straight game on the road for the Lakers. So they've got their 3rd straight on the road on the 9th against this Waynesville team. And then the next week they get their first home game against Parkview on the 16th.
Nice not to have to drive so far.
Right, there you go, finally. And 4 out of the first 5 games for Camdenton on the road.
Right.
So that game on the 16th against Parkview, the first home game. And if they can get through all those road games unscathed, 3-0, they'll be in good shape. You talked about the conference. It's stacking up as it has the last few years, that West Plains is looking really good.
And that's on September the 23rd on the road.
On the road, yeah, that's right. So West Plains is looking good again this year. Lebanon is looking really good again this year. And here you've got Camdenton starting off the season strong. So it looks like it's probably going to come down to those 3 teams again this year. And as you mentioned, Camdenton's on the road to play West Plains on the 23rd of this month. And then they've got Lebanon toward the end of the season, second to last game of the regular season at home this year. And they lost to Lebanon twice last year.
The Highway 5 trophy. We got to get that sucker back.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely.
We are very happy to see the success that the Laker program is having right now. Certainly being able to dig yourself out of being down 21-3 and come back and win that game 24-21. But there are a lot of teams that are doing good things. And we have to mention, folks, that Lake TV is your home for the game of the week. Chris Schneider, William Holtz, you guys do such a fantastic job of covering and moving around and allowing the viewer to see a variety of different high school football action.
Yeah, absolutely. And our game of the week on the 9th will be a couple of local teams. Eldon at home to Versailles. Eldon started out the season 2-0, so they will look to stay perfect. And then Eldon the next week on the 16th will be at Osage. So that's a huge rivalry with those 2 teams. So Lake TV will bring you both of those games. On the 9th, Eldon at home to Versailles, and on the 16th, Osage home to Eldon. So you can see those games on Lake TV. Good start to the season for the Eldon Mustangs, winning their first couple of games.
You know that Eldon program, as far as I can remember, has always been a storied program. Certainly a lot of great players, a lot of great coaches, and you get that program moving in the right direction. You get all the parts and pieces that you need. Certainly you got to have it on all 3 aspects: offense, defense, and let's talk a little bit about special teams. I don't think, especially in high school, special teams gets the kind of attention that you would really want it to, because you focus more on the offense, the defense, if there's a need to kick a field goal or a punt or field kicks and punts, special teams is in there. But a lot of times, I don't think special teams really gets the attention it deserves.
No, and the really good coaches realize that at some point in their career, they go, oh man, this is a huge part of the game. I used to cover the Cowboys a lot, and Bill Parcells, and he'd spend half of his daily press conference talking about special teams because he, to him it was that important. So I think Osage lost one of its early games on the road I think special teams gave up 23 points,
Yeah.
and they lost by 6. So they lost the game right there with the special teams. And so coaches figure that out, get that turned around. The great thing about Missouri high school football is that everybody makes the playoffs. So
how do you feel about that? That's interesting because when that first happened, there were a lot of people who said, so what's the point of the regular season?
It's a very good point, and it's the first state I've ever been to, and I've working in media, you move around a lot. First state I've ever been to where every team did qualify for the playoffs. I think it's great because there are some teams that catch fire late in the season and they get on a roll, and they're tough to beat.
Yes.
And for a team like Osage, it starts out slow this year. Once they get it together and get on a run, get into postseason, they have a chance. But they do seed, so the regular season matters because of seeding. If you have a great record, you'll play a worse team in the first round and move on that way. So I think it's a good thing.
Yes. Well, different strokes for different folks.
You don't like it, huh?
I was always under the impression if you work hard and you have a good record, but I can understand where they want everybody. And I think in this particular instance, I could see where it's important to like seniors, for example.
Yeah.
It could be their last game. Well, if they get hot, maybe not. Maybe they could get into the playoffs and do a little damage or possibly go all the way to the state championship in their particular class.
I remember a few years ago there was a battle team out of the Columbia area that got hot later in the season, and they played Camdenton, who was a better team all year round. Battle beat the Lakers in the playoffs that year and went on to win the state championship.
They were quite the buzzsaw,
Yeah,
and they weren't the sharpest buzzsaw to start with, but boy, they got hot in a hurry and really moved on, and that's, I guess, essentially what you're looking at doing with something like this. We got about a minute or so left. Chris, any predictions? I mean, you're a gentleman who has seen a lot of high school football, a lot of sports, football in general. Any thoughts, any ideas who might be hot, let's say, in another 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Look at Camdenton. I mean, I think keep your eye on Camdenton. They've got a couple of things happening. This is probably Coach Jeff Shore's last year. I think he's going to be retiring. So there's a lot of extra motivation and emotion on that team because of that. Plus his son Bear is a senior this year. Grandpa Bob is still around, and Bob Shore's greatness.
Bo still shows up at the games.
Bo's still around, yeah.
And Mom's there too.
Yeah, it's greatness. So that's going to be a big thing, and they've been gearing up for this year for a long time.
Yes, they have.
So look for that. It's going to be a tough road, though. Like I say, I think, man, that Lebanon team is really good again this year. That's going to be a tough, and West Plains is always good. Yeah. But I think Camdenton's going to go 2 or 3 games deep into the playoffs at least.
Very good. And we shall see. We shall see. You've got another game coming up here on Lake TV as far as high school football.
On the 9th, Friday the 9th, it is Versailles at Eldon. And on Friday the 16th, it is Eldon at Osage, right here on Lake TV.
Chris, thank you for your time, sir. Man. Great to see you.
Always.
Chris Schneider hanging out with us on the set here on What's Burning on, stick around. Oh, by the way, let me say it again. It's Lake TV.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
Hi, I'm Nina Jeniton. I own Ozark Barge and Dock, and I always watch Lake TV.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
There's a new radio station at the lake, a radio station that's geared towards the community, a radio station where you can have a hand in what we do. Welcome to Key Radio, a community-based radio station that invites you to be a part of the solution. We encourage you to become a content creator. That's right, you provide the content. Listen in at 89.3 or online at keyradio.live. To find out more about becoming a content creator, call 573-280-0532.
Hey, KB here, welcoming you back to What's Burning on Lake TV. And I certainly hope you had a great Labor Day weekend at the Lake of the Ozarks. And I remember when I first moved here that Labor Day weekend was something that a lot of people saw as the end of summer at the beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. Well, I got to tell you, we have got so many great events coming up. And one of the things I want to make sure that people look into, check into, is the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall. Now, we had Larry Bennett on last week to talk about it, and I had the opportunity to talk with Doc Russo. And Doc is a gentleman, the one and only gentleman. He travels with a companion, and then when they get to a particular site, they do get volunteers to help them set up this wall. But he is essentially the driving force behind the wall itself. So you're watching the show on Thursday. That's when the wall is going to come into town, and they highly recommend that folks come out and show their support of the wall. But I really want to encourage people, especially people with young children and people who have children that have no idea what the Vietnam War was all about, to go down and check out the wall. You can do it for free Thursday and Friday. It'll cost you $10 as part of the parking during the air show on Saturday the 10th, and then on Sunday the 11th with the Run for the Fallen. It is free to stop by and check out the wall at the Camdenton Memorial Lake Regional Airport. The significance of this wall is so very important, and it is a moving tribute to those men and women who lost their lives in Vietnam, and a great experience. So I highly recommend that you take the family by and check it out. Wanted to talk quickly about something here that I saw that it worries me just a little bit, folks, and that is when the government has an opportunity to control you, and we all know that they do it in various ways, but how about in your own home with your thermostat? Well, this from the HuffPost, a story that came out last Friday. It says, So Not Cool energy company locks Colorado residents out of their smart thermostats. And basically, I'm going to quote a little bit of the story here. An energy company in Colorado shut down access to 22,000 customers' smart thermostats on Tuesday of last week, citing an energy emergency as temperatures reportedly reached 90 degrees. Xcel's thermostat lockout involved customers who actually participate in a voluntary program that offers money in exchange for giving up control of their thermostat to save energy. And the whole point behind this is, as we continue on with the green campaign and the green energy, is to invade our lives and intrude into our lives with more technology that the government can literally at any time shut down on their own if they feel the need to do so. And we know that a lot of alternative energy, while there's nothing wrong with it, solar power, wind power, as well as even water power, hydroelectricity, doesn't necessarily produce as much electricity as needed. So when the government has control, what are they going to do? Shut you down. And that's basically what we're looking at here. Now, again, these folks participate in a program where XL gives the customers $100 for signing up for the program and $25 every year thereafter. And this week's shutdown was the only time in the program's 6-year history that customers couldn't override their smart thermostats. This vice president from XL had said, "Let's remember that this is something that customers chose to be a part of based on the incentives." And so the folks here want to make sure that you understand that these people were like volunteers or guinea pigs. But there are other places where the volunteers and or guinea pigs don't exist, that these types of things can happen at any point, where if they feel that, maybe it's a peak energy period, they can come in and basically say, well, for everybody's safety, to cut down on the use of energy, if you won't do it, we'll do it for you. So after being outdoors on a hot summer day, and I just like to come in and cool off and set my thermostat wherever I feel is necessary in order to, to relax and enjoy. There may be an instance where, of course, like a lot of other things, the government says, no, we're going to control the thermostat for you, rather than being able to set it on, as low as 68 degrees, which I never do anyway. The government says, no, I think it needs to be on 76, maybe 77, possibly 78, and they are the ones controlling that thermostat and controlling your life. And so smart appliances, they do have their ups and their downs. But they, again, we talk about some of the other things like refrigerators and the like. With the amount of technology involved, the manufacturing, well, it's not always the greatest. So make sure you do a little research, folks, especially when you're looking at being a part of a program where somebody actually controls what it is that you have in your home. I mean, the government already controls all kinds of different things. Why shouldn't they control your thermostat as well? Well, pretty much because it's your thermostat. And there are some places where if you don't want to be a part of the smart thermostat program, you have to pay a fee in order to opt out. Again, just some things to keep in mind, folks, but I thought you might be a little better off knowing things like that. I know they have them here in the state of Missouri, and there are companies that charge a little bit extra for those folks who don't have the smart thermostat. So be smart, keep an eye on what's going on, and make sure that you stick with me for the occasional news and views features. We'll take a break. We've got our furry friends on the way. All kinds of great furry friends out there at Ozarks Cat and Canine, and we'll have that for you following these wonderful words from our marvelous sponsors on Lake TV.
Enjoying What's Burning with KB right here on Lake TV? Have questions, comments, or suggestions? Have an interesting story for KB to tell? Or maybe you want to be interviewed by KB on the show or are interested in sponsoring? All you have to do is reach out to KB at kb@mylaketv.com.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work-optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the Mile Marker Formula.
Want a dock that will withstand the wake from a million boats? Want a dock that's different from the usual dock? Then you want Ozark Barge and Dock in Gravois Mills. Ozark Barge and Dock now celebrating 35 years of building the best dock on Lake of the Ozarks. And we guarantee every dock we build. So when it comes time to build your custom dock, trust the best and go with Ozark Barge and Dock, building the best dock at the lake for the last 35 years.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all.
Looking for blinds, shades, shutters, drapes, or bedroom makeovers? On a budget? You need Budget Blinds in Laurie. Bring your ideas to us, or let our design consultants help you create the perfect look for your home. Because Budget Blinds is nationwide, our collective buying power enables us to search many major brands to bring you the blinds, shades, shutters, and drapes you want for less. Budget Blinds. Call us for a free consultation. Budget Blinds, the best in custom blinds and window coverings.
If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the Polar Plunge to festivals, parades, Aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us on What's Burning. KB here for another edition of KB's Furry Friends at Ozark Cat and Canine. Mary Meow Me Tilly is with us, and we have a very, very special dog that needs a home, and her name is Goldilocks. And last time we were here, you told us that we would be spending some time with her today.
Yes.
And so I sat with her for about a half hour, I don't know, 45 minutes, whatever, last time I was here. And she is such a good dog, but we don't know if there was abuse involved or exactly what it is that kind of makes her shy and timid. And she kind of comes up and then does that almost like a bow. And so she's going to need some love and some attention and lots of it.
Yeah. So officially her name is Goldilocks. That's what's on all of her paperwork and everything, but everybody here calls her Mama Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So her story is a gentleman called us, and he had been out of town for the weekend, and when he returned home he found a pop-up kennel with this dog and 3 very young puppies, just barely had their eyes open.
Wow.
All crammed in this kennel that was barely big enough for her. And so he called and asked, I need help, what can you do? So we took him in. I actually named her babies first because they were chubby, they roly-poly little black fluffy things. We think Daddy may have possibly been a Newfoundland. That's what they looked like.
Right.
They didn't look anything like Mama. But we named them Paddington, Pooh Bear, and Pookie. They were the 3 bears, so she became Goldilocks. But like I said, everybody calls her Mama.
So this man pulls up in his driveway. There's a pet carrier there with these dogs all jammed into it, and he has no idea where it came from?
No idea where it came from. He opened it up, let Mama out so she could get out, have some space. She kept going back in, and the babies were too small at that point. They couldn't walk on their own. They were too small to move, so she kept going back in to feed them and everything.
Do we know what happened to the babies?
Unfortunately, her babies had parvo, and they didn't make it, which kind of set... So when she first came in, she was doing pretty good. She was a great mama. When she lost her babies, that kind of set her back, in her mindset a little bit. And she was very, very shy, very timid. Just would cower. When she first moved up to the front building and we would bring her up to the lobby, she would get underneath that bench in the lobby and just cower underneath the bench. And one of the girls that works on the weekends has been working with her over the last probably about 6 weeks. Every Saturday, she would try to bring her into the lobby and bring her into my office. And the first day, she wouldn't even step over the threshold into my office. And now she will come in and she'll slowly come in and she'll sit down next to me and I pet her and she'll sit there for a while with her head in my lap while I'm working. And she's really making progress. She's
so obviously,
such a good girl.
Right, she's going to need some very, very, very special attention. And I don't know how this process works, but is there someone out there like a doggy psychologist or psychiatrist that you could go to or take them to a trainer and let the trainer kind of observe Goldilocks a little bit and maybe based on the trainer's determination find out what you can do to get her to,
Possibly, yeah. I'm not sure who in this area, is able to do that. They might have to go, like to Jeff City, Columbia, somewhere like that, for a more specialized trainer. One thing we do know about her is she loves other dogs.
Does she?
She does so great out here. And when we have her in the side yard with another dog that she's friends with, her personality is so much different and she will run and play. So she would probably do best in a home with another dog that she gets along with. And we're thinking probably no young children, just because she does startle so easy and, that she is timid, that, young children, the noise they make and the activity level might be too much for her.
So here at Ozarks Cat and Canine, you folks have to be kind of like the jack of all trades. You take care of them. You take care of them physically if they have any issues. And then, of course, you have to have that patience necessary in order to work with certain dogs like Goldilocks and see if you can't find a way to connect with her or any of the other dogs that may have some what I would consider to be social issues.
And a lot of our staff members on our dog team, they kind of take turns. Each one kind of bonds with different personalities and all, and so each dog kind of has one person that kind of takes them on as a project and works with them and helps get them through what try to bring out their real personality and figure out what's going to be the best situation for them to go into.
What are some other things you've got going on? We're ready to make that transition, starting to anyway, from summer to fall. Anything in particular? Are you folks going to be out more at various places bringing out puppies or kittens, trying to get them adopted? Or
we do have a couple of events scheduled in September. One of them, I can't remember the day of the week right now, but it is on our calendar of events on the website.
Okay.
We are going to be having a Community Appreciation Day toward the end of September on a Thursday, where our board is going to be out here. We're going to have hot dogs and chips and sodas and free of charge. People can come in, have a nice little lunch, and then come in and see the animals if they want to.
Outstanding.
And then at the end of September, I believe it's the 24th, it's on a Saturday, the Pumpkin Chunkin' Palooza at Ozarks Amphitheater. We've been invited to come out there and have a booth, and it'll just depend on what animals we have in our care at that time, but our plan is hopefully to bring puppies with us that day.
Well, if you would at least give Goldilocks a chance, come out and meet her, talk to Mary, talk to the staff here. They'll give you an opportunity, and if you have a dog that maybe you'd like to get acquainted with Goldilocks, that's fine too. Just set that all up ahead of time, as is normally the case. We've talked about it plenty. But again, call them and find out just exactly what they need to do to make those arrangements necessary. And you never know, you might have more than just one good friend. You might have two, and that second good friend could very well be Goldilocks. She needs some care, needs some attention, but man, once you get her hooked, she is just a lover. And again, another dog that needs a good home right here from the good folks at Ozarks Cat and Canine. Our thanks to our veterinary at the lake for presenting KB's Furry Friends. You stick around, we've got more coming up on What's Burning on Lake TV.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family. And at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
Hi, I'm Professor Jim Paisley, and you're watching Lake TV.
Welcome to season number 10 of Great High School Football on Lake TV. COMC brings you great games between local rivals Friday nights this fall, with pregame starting at 6:30 and kickoff at 7. September 2nd, it'll be Warsaw and Versailles. September 9th, Eldon home against the Tigers. On the 16th, Osage entertains Eldon. September 23rd, California home to Osage. And we'll close out September with Camdenton home against Bolivar. October 7th, Versailles entertains California. October 14th, Camdenton and Lebanon renew their heated rivalry. The last week of the regular season, it's Osage home to Versailles, and then come the playoffs. The COMC High School Football Game of the Week starting with the pregame show at 6:30 and kickoff at 7. Each game will have an encore showing the following Tuesday at 7:30. Here comes the 10th season of high school football on Lake TV.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us. As always, we invite your thoughts, your ideas, your opinions, and it's so easy to do. You can reach me directly, kb@mylaketv.com. kb@mylaketv.com. We're always looking for segments. We're always looking for features. We're always looking for interesting people that live in the community. If your group or organization has an event coming up, you'd like a little PR, we'd love to give it to you right here on What's Burning. And of course, we can't do it without the support of our wonderful sponsors, our title sponsor, SRG Financial Advisors. I love Bill and Janice, Christopher, Aubrey, Dan, and even Tyler up in Columbia. We love you all, and thank you so much for your support. Budget Blinds, can't do it without you, Carrie. Of course, Nina at Ozark Barge and Dock, the entire staff over at our veterinary at the lake, who we're going to get on this program hopefully sometime in the month of September. And our good friends, our wonderful friends over there at Culligan Lake of the Ozarks, humping that cold water to keep you cool, to keep you refreshed, and we certainly appreciate it. Oh, by the way, if you need a little checkup on your water, Penny will come over. They'll do a little in-home test for you right there and show you how the folks at Culligan can, as the water boy says, give you that high-quality H2O. Stick around. We've got more coming up next week, including the one and only, speaking of our title sponsors, Bill DeCast will be in studio with me, so I hope you can join us for that. Some timely information when it comes to your financial situation. Also, another edition of Furry Friends, and maybe, well, I'll see what Bill Mulder is up to. I think he's getting ready to head out on the trail with us. We've got some ideas that we're working on. You stay safe. Thank you so much for tuning in, and keep it right here. What's Burning on Lake TV.